Hey everybody, this is Courtney with Fiber Fox Studios, and today we're going to be making this really pretty scarf. And I did want to show you guys the stitch work up close. We're going to be working kind of like a cable, but it's not. Just crosses over and forms this really pretty design. This particular yarn that you're looking at, the original design, is done in the Arabella yarn. That is a Yarn Bee yarn that was just on clearance the other week. As you can see, I got it for $1.24. It normally retails for $4.99. And Arabella has 105 yards per cake, a little ball of it. And I'm going to be using total of 5 balls. So I'm going to be completing about 75, 76 rows. This is a 2-row repeat for this particular design, so it's not really hard to remember, and it builds up really quickly. Each set ends up being about 2 inches, 2.5 inches, and I'm going to be using a 5.5 millimeter hook. I'm going to show you guys this design in a size 4 yarn, just a plain solid size 4, so you can see what I'm doing. But if you want to use the exact same yarn that you're seeing here, you are going to want to grab up some of the Arabella, or grab in your stash hopefully, and this colorway is Coral Sunset. So we're going to begin by doing a starting chain. That starting chain is going to be worked in a multiple of 6 plus 3 at the end. So for this exact width, which is 12 inches wide, done in the Arabella, and Arabella is a size 5 bulky yarn, by the way, so you're going to use something either a size 4 or size 5. If you are using a size 4 yarn, it is going to be about 9.5 inches total width, so it will drop off a couple inches there on the total width of the scarf. You can make it as long as you want. Like I said, I'm going to do a total of 75, 76 rows. I want to end on a single crochet row. That's all, you know, and I haven't gotten that far yet. So we're going to start by grabbing our crochet hook, which is going to be a 5.5 millimeter, and begin doing the chain. So you're going to chain and come back to me. I have a total of 33 chains, and that's what I'm going to be starting with. That's the same thing I have back here on the Arabella sample. Is this total starting chain is done in 33 chains. So now we begin with row 1. For row 1, all we need to do is a single crochet row. So it's pretty simple. We are going to be skipping the very first stitch. So right here, we're going to skip this stitch and work here into the second. And we're just going to complete a traditional single crochet all the way down this row. So you can pause here and meet back up with me when you've done one single crochet in each and every stitch all the way down your row. And by the way, I am working in Yarn Bee Comfy Classic in the color Coral right now on screen. I'll have all the yarn information down below in the description for you guys as well. So we are back at the end of row 1. I've completed a single crochet in each and every stitch. Since I skipped the first chain at the beginning of the row, we now have a total of 32 stitches. The single crochet row is the first row of the repeat of this design. I think I forgot to say that before, but we have a 2-row repeat. So now we're going to begin row 2. And to begin row 2, all we need to do is chain up 5. So you're just going to grab your yarn and chain 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we can turn our work, and this is where the fun begins. We're going to begin wrapping our yarn around our hook a total of 4 times. So what I mean by that is we're going to wrap, 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 and wrap. So we have 4 wraps. It looks like we have 5 loops on our hook right now. So now we go down here to our chain, and we're going to skip. Obviously, we don't work into this very first stitch. That's already taken up by the chain 5. So now we're going to be skipping the next 3 stitches. So we're going to skip 1, 2, 3, and we're going to work here into the 4th. So you're just going to insert into that 4th stitch under the V. Grab your yarn and pull up a loop. Grab your yarn and pull through 2. Grab your yarn and pull through 2. grab your yarn and pull through 2, grab your yarn and pull through 2, grab your yarn and pull through 2. So that is our first stitch. Now we're going to wrap again a total of 4 times. So wrap 4 times around your hook. You can push these back and kind of hold them with your finger, keep them out of the way. Now we're going to go right here into the very next stitch. So we're not skipping anything, we're working right into the next stitch. Grab and pull up a loop. Grab and pull through 2. 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 And grab and pull through the last 2 loops on your hook. Now we need to repeat this one more time. So we're going to wrap 4 times around our hook. Push them back and hold it with our finger. Come down here. We're going to go into the very next stitch. We're going to grab and pull up a loop. Grab and pull through 2. Grab and pull through 2. It's a little fuzzy on my yarn. Grab and pull through 2. Grab and pull through 2. Grab and pull through 2. Now we're going to be wrapping our yarn again, but we're going to come back here to these 3 stitches that we skipped. So we're going to wrap 4 times around our hook. There's 1 and 2, 3, and 4. Push it back and hold it. Now we're going to come down here, and this is the trickiest part, is getting used to doing this. So we are coming back here to this first stitch that we skipped. So we're still not working into the very first one in the row. We're coming here, first one that we skipped, and now we can kind of fold our work so that we can see what we're doing. So we're into that first skip stitch. We're going to grab and pull up a loop, grab and pull through 2, 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 grab and pull through 2. And now we need to repeat this 2 more times, working in these last 2 skip stitches. So we're going to wrap 4 times around our hook. There's 3. Here's number 4. Push it back and hold it. Come over here. We're now working into the next skip stitch. So if you take a look at what I'm doing, coming backwards and crossing over, I'm going to insert into that stitch. We can kind of push our work back out of our way. And then we begin working. We grab and pull up a loop. Grab and pull through 2. 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 So we've got to do that one more time to work into this last skipped stitch. So we're going to wrap 4 times around our hook. 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to push it back and hold it. Now we come back here, coming backwards to this last skipped stitch. We're going to insert into that. We can fold everything back, fold our work back out of the way. And now we grab and pull up a loop, grab and pull through 2, 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 and last but not least, grab and pull through 2. So right now it doesn't look like a whole lot, but there's our crossing over. So it's similar to a cable. It looks kind of like a cable to me. So now we're going to repeat this on down the rest of our row. We're going to wrap 4 times around our hooks. There's 3. Here's number 4. We're going to hold it. Now we're going to come down here to our single crochets, and we're going to skip 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to insert here into the 4th. So under that V, grab and pull up a loop. And then we just keep pulling through 2 at a time. So you're grabbing, pulling through 2, just like we just did. And now we will wrap 4 times. 3 and 4. Come down here. We're going to go into the very next stitch. And work again. Grabbing and pulling through 2. Each and every time until we have 2 left, and then we grab and pull through the last 2. Wrap 4 times. 2, 3, and 4. Push it back, hold it. Come down here to this next stitch. Grab and pull up our loop. Then grab and pull through 2 at a time. There's number 3, 4, and 5. So you do it a total of 5 times. Now we're going to wrap 4 times around our hook. Push it back and hold it. Now we're going to come back here and we want to work in to these 3 skip stitches. So make sure you do not work into the stitch that you've already worked into. You want to go into the 1, 2, and 3, those skip stitches. So we're going to go right here to the first one. Going to insert our hook. We can fold the rest of our work back. And we begin to grab and pull up a loop, and then grab and pull through 2, all the way up until we have 2 left, and we do those last 2. So now you're starting to see the curl, or the cross. It's not a curl. So we're going to keep repeating this. We've got 2 more of these skip stitches to work into. So we're going to wrap 4 times around the hook, push it back and hold it. Then we come down here. We're going right here to the next skipped stitch. And we're just going to work that stitch. I think this is a double treble. Not really sure what it's called, but that's what you do. I know how to do it. I don't know what it's called. 3 and 4. 4 times around my hook. Push it back and hold it. Lose my hook or my loops. And then I fold everything back and push this up on the other side. And we just keep working it all the way down. Pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, until we are done. So we've completed that set. So you're just doing a set, basically, a total of 6 stitches. And then when we come back through and we do our single crochet row on top of it, so we do our row 1 repeat, it'll kind of help stretch everything out. And as the work grows, you can see better exactly what the stitch work looks like. So you're going to keep repeating these same steps all the way down the rest of your row, skipping 3, working into the 4th, and then you'll work the 4th, 5th, and 6th stitch, and then you wrap and go back here to the first skip stitch, and then you begin to do 1st, 2nd, and 3rd all over again. So when you get down here and you have finished your last repeat of the stitch work, we'll work the row in together, and I'll show you how to move up to do row 1 again, so you can see how you work that. And then you should be set to keep working this really pretty stitch until you have a beautiful scarf. You're meeting back up with me. You're at the end of your row and you have 1 stitch left to work into. So all of our end of our rows, this is the row 2 of the repeat. All of these are going to be worked exactly the same. You're going to wrap 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Squish back and hold. And then we're going to come down here to our very last stitch. And we're going to get in there under that V. And then we're going to do the same thing we've been doing. We're going to grab and pull up a loop. And then grab and pull through 2, a total of 5 times. There's number 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to do our new row 1, which will be the way that you start each and every row 1, this 2-row repeat. So we're going to be doing our single crochet row now. So that's our row 1. And this is how you're going to do it for all the rest of your rows. So you're going to chain 1, turn your work. We're going to go right here into this very first stitch and do our single crochet. We're now going to put a single crochet in each and every stitch all the way across the row. So you're just going into the very next one. And I'll show you how we do it on through these. So single crochet into the very next stitch. Single crochet right here into the very next stitch. Single crochet into the very next. So I guess you guys get the idea. So we just make sure that we don't miss any of our stitches. Every single stitch gets a single crochet in it. We should have, if you're following along exactly with me, I started with 32 stitches. I'm going to have 32 single crochets when I'm done at the end of this row. So every single one gets a stitch. You just need to make sure you're holding your work, kind of stretch it out so you can see everything. You've got all these little spaces, perfect for putting your fingers in. And we just go right on along, single crochet, every single one. And we'll meet back up at the end of this row so that I can show you something you need to make sure that you do not do. So come back when you are at the end of your row and have one last stitch left to work into. I'm coming up on the end of my new row 1 for our 2-row repeat. And I want to show you as you get to the end, things will kind of be laying like this. Want to make sure that we stretch this out because we don't want to miss this stitch. It's there, it just kind of hides a little bit. So we're approaching the end here, putting 1 single crochet into each and every stitch. Now we get here, and this looks like our last stitch, so we put a single crochet there. However, we can't forget about this chain. This chain 5 right here, we've got to make sure that we put a single crochet into the top of the chain 5. So you're just going to count up from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Insert in there and do your single crochet in there. That's going to be the number 1 place that you'll get off, is you'll forget about that chain that we started the row with, the previous row with, and that will throw off your count for the entire project. So make sure that you're definitely getting into that chain. And same thing down here at this side. Make sure that this double, treble, or whatever it is that you're working a stitch in the top of that each and every time as well. So this is what our work looks like after we have completed 3 rows now. We have our new row 1. And I'm going to get you started on the 2nd row of the repeat. So we always chain up when we're ready to do our 2nd row of the repeat. So we chain 5. There's 3, 4, and 5. Now we turn our work. And we make sure that we are skipping the first 3 stitches down below that are available. So remember, the chain 5 counts as the stitch for this one. So we're skipping 1, 2, 3, and going here to the 4th. You're going to wrap 4 times, scoot them back and hold them. So you see what I mean? So we're not counting this one. This one's already worked. 1, 2, 3, go into the 4th, and you just begin doing your pull through 2, total of 5 times. So you're grabbing and pulling through 2 all the way up, and then you're going to repeat that 2 more times in the next 2 stitches. You get more used to it as you do this, and you won't need to hold them until we're reversing, going backwards. Those are always going to be a little tricky, but you get used to them. Start working them a lot faster. And here's my 3rd one. Now we're going to wrap 4 times, and we're going to be going in reverse. We're going to back it up and go over here to the first skip stitch. So if you identify the other 2, you'll make sure that you're going into that first one. So go there into the very first one. Make sure you get under that V. Scoot it all back. There we go. And then we just continue to pull through 2. And we're going to repeat that 2 more times. Going right here to the next skipped stitch. Working that, pulling through 2, over and over. Got to do that one more time. Coming back here, so skipping, coming backward. And this last one is the trickiest just because we have all that other work right there that we're getting up close to. You just push it back out of your way, and as you can see, I'm holding on to the stitch so that I can keep it more even. Just easier for me that way. And that's what you have. So you're going to keep working these same 2 rows over and over and over till you reach the desired size for your project. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I'm doing a total of 75 or 76 rows. I've got to get there, but I want to end on one of my single crochet rows. That way I have something nice and even and flat to do a border on. So make sure that you end on a single crochet row. So you're going to complete your crossover stitches, do a single crochet row, and then you're done. You can easily turn this into a cowl or a lot of other things. I'm just going to do the scarf so I can use up that Arabella yarn that I have. So hopefully you've enjoyed this tutorial. Hopefully you think this is a pretty stitch. If you have any questions at all, please leave me a comment down below. Please make sure you give this video a thumbs up, and please make sure you're subscribed so you never miss any of my tutorials. Bye for now.